All right, I want to break this down. Sensei Ali, 7th degree black belt, senior professor in American Kempo, also 7th degree black belt in Tankenryu Jiu-Jitsu, which is a combination of Tank Sudo, Kempo, and Buddha Jiu-Jitsu. I just want to talk about what martial arts and self-defense techniques really means, okay? When you see somebody doing a technique, I see a lot of comments and people say, well, he wouldn't really punch like that. He wouldn't really do that. He wouldn't really do this. Well, martial arts, especially Kempo, self-defense techniques are taught so that, like the alphabet, you learn how to put words together, sentences together, paragraphs together. And so it's all about muscle memory. So when your muscles find a place where there's an opening, it will take that space up with the movement that it's familiar with. So when you see a person, what we call dummying up, right, the person getting the technique performed on them, they're doing that technique so that they understand what would happen in a perfect scenario circumstance of that case, and they're also helping out their partner, showing what reactions would, the average reactions would be. So it's not as if a person would do exactly like that or they would punch like that, but what's happening is you're building up a rhythm of movements that flow nonstop, and that you'll start to what we call graph. You'll take techniques from one technique and use part of that with another technique, and use part of that, and before you know it, you have an entire movement that's based on mathematical principles and muscle memory, which makes it very hard to defeat you and very hard to come within your space without having to pay for that movement. So if that makes sense, that's what it's about. I hear a lot of people saying, well, he punched perfectly. Nobody punches like that. Nobody punches like this. Well, once you get that muscle memory and understand how to deal with that, and you move on to the next technique and work it to the best of your proficiency, it allows you to be able to understand how to move without even thinking. You move at the speed of thought versus having to think about what it is you're going to do next. Your muscles already have that memory. When you're walking along and let's say you trip, you don't think about how far you got to hit the ground or what you got to do. You just respond. That's what happens with the martial arts. So the more and more you practice your techniques on both sides, you practice them static, then fluid, then dynamic, you will learn how to incorporate it into, you'll become karate. You don't want to do karate. Doing karate is just getting up and doing it on certain days and that's it. Becoming karate is internalizing it, where it becomes part of you and you don't even have to think, you just respond accordingly. And what comes out is based on how you've trained yourself. So don't look so much as, is he going to respond just like this or that, or will that really work in a situation? Look at what you are doing to yourself and how you're mastering your emotions and understanding your advantages and disadvantages when engaging with someone.